Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing really well. I am not doing too bad. So I wanted to do a video mainly so I could tell you I did go on my cruise. I actually been back for a little bit, but I have not had time to really sit down and talk about it. And I definitely wanted to tell you guys about it because I really did no vlogging whatsoever, just like I said I was going to do. But I want to tell you about it. But I did bring my lunch with me. I have a couple pickles here. And I have a croissant sandwich that I just made at home. It's just a croissant. And I flattened it out. And I stuffed it with cheese, onions, tomato, and turkey pepperoni. This is the end result after it is done baking. It is delicious, trust me on that. This is so good. Let me try to get a little screenshot. So I don't know if that'd be good or not, but we'll see. Let me open it up and show you guys inside before I talk. I do have my door open. As you guys know, towards the winter time, if it's fairly nice outside, I will have my door open. A little bit cool, but it's okay. So there's the inside. And I just laid it out. I laid everything on top of it, then I rolled up to croissant, and that's how it turned out. It's flattened because it's been sitting for a little bit. I don't have my SuperFly cup today. I have some diet sweet tea that I'm going to drink. I do drink tea. I like to have tea. I don't drink it with sugar though. It's either this or no sugar. This has actually Splendid in it. It's a really good tea. Tastes really good. So, what cruise did I go on? I went on Norwegian Cruise Line, the Getaway. I did do one video, which is a room tour, which I will post after this video. Once I edit that too. My husband looking at the unedited version, he said I didn't do too good of a job. So hopefully once it's edited, it'll look better. You know, the problem is we stayed busy all the time. I honestly wanted to do it the first day where the room looked the nicest. But I couldn't. I ended up doing it the night before we were getting off the boat. And I did rush it some, and I apologize. But I like to do the room video because I know when I'm looking for a cruise, I like to see the different rooms. So I wanted to make sure I did that. So I will post that after this for you guys to see the room. But when I had told you guys I was just going to enjoy this cruise. I wasn't going to really vlog, and I didn't, and I'm so happy I didn't. This was probably the nicest cruise I've been on. Not just because I vlog, it has nothing to do with me vlogging, but it was probably the nicest cruise I've been on. We had the most fun on this ship that we've ever had. I don't know if it's because of the people. I mean, it was more personal, you know, or more... we talked more, we interacted more than usual. I mean, we always interact, but it just seemed like it was more of a family atmosphere. We had such a great time. But I have to say, this was our most favorite cruise, but it was my most scariest cruise ever. So if you want to know about that too, so make sure you stay tuned, because this actually was scary for me too, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But we boarded on a Sunday and we disembarked on a Sunday. We were there for they considered 8 days. We had a balcony room. We went to, our first stop was Honduras. Our second stop was Belize. Our third stop was Costa Maya. Our fourth stop was Cozumel. We left from Miami and returned from Miami, Florida. So, the food was pretty good. The entertainment is great. The ship is beautiful. Very, very nice. I do not smoke, but my husband does smoke. And the only thing different about this ship is very, very small space for smokers. which you think they'd be a little bit bigger, because honestly, there's a lot of people on the cruise ship that smoke, and there's a lot that don't, but they only keep smoking usually on one side, and then non-smoking, they kind of keep it separate, so it doesn't bother the people that doesn't smoke. But if my husband went to have a cigarette and I was with him, I would sit there with him. But it was just kind of a very small area. But it seems like we met so many wonderful people on this ship. We were always talking and having fun, and actually a group of us thought maybe we should do another cruise together. It was so much fun, it honestly was. I did not do any excursions. My husband did. We usually go to the Mayan ruins, and he went to 2 in Costa Maya. I opted not to go because I still have the trouble with my lower back and my sciatic. I didn't want to ruin it for him. I told him, just go. I said, I'll go into port, I'll enjoy myself, and have a nice time, and he could go and have a nice time. You know, we're both adults. We could find something to do. He loved the Mayan ruins. I do too. A lot of history. Very interesting, you know. But I'm going to start from our last port to our first port, because the first port is the part that was scary for me. So we went to Cozumel last, which we love Cozumel. We walk through the town, we look around, we buy souvenirs, we had a nice Mexican lunch. It was just so beautiful. You guys know Mexican and pizza are my favorite. So it was really nice, had some drinks. Only thing that happened there is, I mean, at every port, people are pushy. They want you to come look at their stuff. This is how they make a living. They want you to come see and stuff like that. But in Cozumel, you know, they all try to get you in. This guy, he caught me off guard, darn. And he says, can I just show you something for a minute? You know, and after you're asking, I said, okay. I said, only if it's just for a minute, because my husband doesn't like to stand around and wait, and I wouldn't want to stand around and wait for him for a long time. He brings me in, and he shows me the stuff that he puts underneath my eyes, which you see, I need it anyways, but, and when he did it, it looked much, much better. I don't remember the name of the product, but he did, and he spent time doing it and talking to me, and he also buttered me up, you know, you remind me of my mother, you know, you're so sweet, all this, typical salesman stuff. And he tells me, and he hands me the stuff, oops, sorry, he hands me stuff, he goes, and it's only $400. I'm like, urge. No. I said, I'm not paying $400, I'm sorry. He goes, okay, I'll be right back. And he went, and he was talking to some guy, and he came back, okay, $250. I'm like, look, you got a cheap mama here, because she's not going to buy it. I said, I appreciate it, but no, that's too much money. And I said, there's no way. And I fibbed a little, because my husband would let me buy whatever I wanted. He would really never tell me no, but I said, I don't think my husband would let me spend that much money anyways, because I was feeling bad for telling him no. He goes, well, let's go ask him. And when we go out there, I'm trying to tell my husband. And the guy goes, tells him about the product, and your wife wants to get this. Can she get it? And he's like, I don't care. I'm like, do you not understand? No. After we were done, I'm like, did you not understand? No. You know? But I said, no, that's okay. But thank you. And my husband, we walk away, my husband goes, well, how much did I say? It was $250. I said, first it was $400 and $250. And he's like, oh man, I didn't know that. I said, well, you didn't catch me telling you no? You know? I said, I'm always the bad person. I always tell him, can you just be the bad person, say no? He can speak different language, and I tell him, sometimes when we get caught up, just speak a different language. So we can just keep on going. I know, I'm terrible. But we had a wonderful time. Enjoyed it. The third port, which was second to last, was Costa Maya. He went on his excursion. He was gone all day. He had a great time. I went to port. I went souvenir shopping. I went and had a nice lunch. It was a little lonely because I was by myself. I mean, you know, I would have rather been with him But I didn't want to spoil his time on the excursion if I couldn't do it, because I didn't know it's very uneven ground. It's very awkward. You know, I just didn't think it was for my best interest to do it, to be honest with you. So I went to, and I was having lunch, and in the middle of the place there was a wrestling ring. These guys come out, they wrestle. And entertain you the whole time. and stupid me, it's a long walk from the boat to the port at this one. And actually at all of them it was, except, and but this one was very long. And I bought this huge heavy thing, not even thinking, dummy, you're gonna have to carry this all the way back to the boat. I had the hardest time. It was so heavy, and I was carrying it back there, and it was raining on my way back and get me wet. I was like, oh man. But I still had fun. I had lots of fun. And the port before that was in Belize. Beautiful, beautiful, you know, so pretty. We walked around and looked around. The only excursions we booked was for him to go to the 2 ruins. We just didn't want to have to worry about rushing and all kinds of things. We just want to enjoy it, go at our own pace, and do what we wanted to do, you know, because I wasn't going to vlog. I didn't worry, even though I did. I kept thinking, should I vlog this? Should I vlog that? Like, no, Christine. I didn't even carry my phone a lot of times because I knew that I would do it. So I told him, I'm not even going to carry my phone because, you know, I want to vlog for you guys, but I wanted to enjoy myself this time. So we walked around Belize, and my husband always collects money from every country we go to. Not repetitively, but the first time we go, we collect money. We haven't been there before, so he collected money from there. And I can't remember what their money, I think our money was like $2 or $3, maybe $4 to their one. I'm not sure. Mexico, I think it was 18 to our one. And then our first stop was Honduras. Our money was 24 to their one. Wait, I'm saying it backwards. Our one equaled 24 their dollars. We always had, you know, our money was worth more than what their currency was. So on Honduras, beautiful. It was beautiful, don't get me wrong. It was so pretty in the port. So nice. We walked around, we had a nice time. And me and my husband were talking, and we thought, well, maybe we'll go outside the port and walk around. And as we're walking out, I seen people coming back, and I asked them if they felt comfortable outside the port, and they said they did. So it made me feel a little better. I'd never been to this area before. I didn't know what it was like or anything. But once we stepped out the gate, there was people right there, which there is at every port, trying to sell you stuff. But this one was different. Before you walked out the port, there was already people in the port selling you stuff, because they really didn't want you to walk outside the port for safety reasons, which we found out. But they had a lot of people inside the port selling excursions and doing whatever and tours. But once you went out, there was people that lived right there. They would stand there and want to get you to taxi around town, and they wanted to walk you around town and do whatever, but we just wanted to go on our own. So we go out of the port, a guy comes to us right away and starts hanging around us and telling us about his town, and we tried to lose him a couple times because we just wanted to be on our own and enjoy ourselves, but he stuck with us the whole time. And as we got further out of the port, it got more and more uncomfortable. I don't want to say anything really bad, because nothing bad happened. It was just scary. we walked out of the port, and once we started going into town, we realized that it was a little bit more of a dangerous situation than we had anticipated. At one point, me and my husband got separated just a little bit. He was in front with the guy, and I was behind. And at one point, a group of men had surrounded me, and had they not come back, I don't know what would happen, but it really scared me. They came back, but then after that, we kind of got separated again. And some man, I was just holding a Coca-Cola bottle, and he come up and he just grabbed it right out of my hand, took my drink from me. He demanded cigarettes, and I don't smoke. I said I don't have any cigarettes, and he had grabbed it out of my hand. And when I caught up with my husband and the guy, I told my husband, he said, "Why did you tell me?" I said, "First off, I'm not going to argue over a Coca-Cola bottle. If the guy wanted it that bad, he could have it, you know." But I felt so uncomfortable. I would not recommend going out of that port on your own, and not even with a person, because I don't know how. These are just people that live there. And when we walked up a little further, I finally kind of told my, I said, "I want to go back." I said, "I don't feel safe at all. I want to go back to the port." And he said, "Okay." Well, first the guy demanded we take a taxi and pay for him too. And I told my husband, "No, I don't even want to go in a taxi." At that point, I didn't, you'd have to really be there to feel how uncomfortable it was. I didn't even feel safe going in a taxi because they were not clearly marked as a taxi. Say, when you leave the port, they tell you you only go with people with badges with taxis, and the taxi of the car, you never get anything else. These weren't like it. These were just men stopping, wanting to give you a ride, saying they were a taxi. And I told my husband, "No, I'm not going to, we're not," the guy wanted a taxi. I told my husband, "No, we're not going to do that. I'm not getting in a car that we don't even know who they are or where they'll take us." So I told my husband, "Let's just go back." So we started walking back, and when we got closer to the part, which I knew he's going to want money, that's how he makes his living, he demanded hundreds of dollars for him walking us, you know, maybe a mile and a mile back, or I don't know how to tell. It was like a 15-20 minute walk and then back, and he demanded hundreds of dollars for his services. And thank goodness we were right there at the port. I slipped him a little bit of money, which, remember, ours is, every one of our dollars is 24 worth of his dollars. So he got hundreds in his money, but not in ours. And I gave him the money, and we went right in. And I honestly had never felt so unsafe at a port, or not at a port, outside a port in my whole life. We've went outside ports in other countries. I did feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know, a lot of people don't like you coming into their area, you know, into their hometown. I noticed that in a couple of them, but I never felt threatened. I never felt really scared. I felt uncomfortable in other ports, you know, but I never felt like I was in danger. And this would be the first time that I had felt that I was in danger. You know, I don't know if they purposely kept trying to separate me and my husband. I'm not sure about that. But we were never really far separated, but it was just fairly uncomfortable. It really was. But we made it back to the boat safely. We had such a wonderful time on the boat. I'd go back to Honduras again, but I would not walk outside the port. I would book an excursion or just stay in the port. Or I would hire a professional taxi to drive me around. But I even hear scary stories with the professional taxis that sometimes they take you out and demand a lot of money to come back. Not just there, but in different ports. It has never happened to us, but I've heard that. But this would be the first time that I was scared. And I told my husband, "I'm scared. I want to go back," you know. And he even told me when we got back that he felt very uncomfortable, and he literally feared for his life at a couple times too. So, but you know, you don't, as a group of men, you don't surround a person and scare them like they did. and a guy just coming up and just grabbing things out of my hands, you know, and it was just crazy. And my husband's like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, what are you gonna do? He could have the Coke bottle. I don't care. I said, you know, we can't protect ourselves there. You know, obviously, even the guy said they all work together and do whatever. So I don't know. It was just kind of a crazy situation. So that was my scary part. But it was a beautiful stop too. Inside the port, it was very nice. We just had such a wonderful time and enjoyed ourselves. Except for that little bit of experience, but you learn from experience, right? And you know, I don't know what to say, but I would still go back to Honduras for sure. But everywhere we went was so nice. We had beautiful weather. There's a little bit of rain here and there, but nothing major. So the weather was nice. The boat was beautiful. You know, our balcony was nice. A little smaller room. So after this video, I will be posting the room tour. I hope it's not as bad as my husband says. If it is, I'm sorry. Because it was a rush job. And I think I have some towel animals that were on our bed. I will post at the end of this video. So if you'd like to see them, please wait to the end of the video so you can see them. I don't know if I can find them or not. The pictures are everywhere on the computer, but if you have any questions about the cruise, please ask me down below. We had lots and lots of fun. It was the Norwegian Cruise Line Getaway ship. I always say boat, but it's really a ship. But I guess it doesn't matter. I don't even know. Maybe it is a boat ship, whatever. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, depending on where you are. And I love you guys so much, and I shall talk to you later. Bye-bye.